I'm Sarah, an 18-year-old college student from Florida. My parents divorced when I was 12, and I've been living with my mom ever since. Last year, my dad passed away from cancer. It was devastating for me because we were really close. He left me a significant amount of money in his will, which would only be accessible to me once I turned 18. Well, this year I turned 18, and the craziest thing happened to me. Honestly, sometimes to this day, I marvel at how crazy everything was. One day, my stepdad, Tom, called me into his room. Tom is in his mid-40s and has been married to my mom for 5 years. We've never really gotten along, but I've tried my best to be civil with him. I can't really say the same for him, though, because he's always found ways to antagonize and patronize me. I try to keep my distance, but it's hard considering he's a parental figure and we live in the same house together. Hey Sarah, I need to talk to you about something important. What is it? Well, I know that your dad left you some inheritance money. Yes? Well, I think that you need to give that money to Mike. He needs it for his academic career. He needs to go to university just like you, so you need to give it to him. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. How could this man so blatantly ask me for my money? I told him, I don't think that would be possible, Tom. It's the money that was left by my father for me. What if I need the money? Don't be ridiculous. You don't need the money, and even if you do, you don't need it as much as Mike does. Well, the answer is no. Sarah, don't make me angry. Well, there's no reason for you to be angry. You asked me a question and I gave you an answer. Me saying no isn't meant to disrespect you. It's just a boundary I'm enforcing, and if you're getting upset at me saying no, then you need to check your privilege. How dare you speak to me this way? I'll have you know that you're staying at my house, sweetie, so you do as I say. Yeah, I don't think so. Ciao. And before he could say anything else, I skedaddled out of his room. I didn't have time to hear his nonsense. Unfortunately, this behavior from Tom wasn't surprising in the slightest. Because of the way he acts, I knew that it was only a matter of time before he would ask me for the money. You might be wondering where my mom was during all of this. Well, that's another issue I've learned to be accustomed to. My mom wasn't just wearing rose-tinted glasses when it came to Tom. Sometimes I feel like she'd been bewitched by him because it was almost abnormal the way she would ride for him and stand by his side through anything. Don't get me wrong, she's my mom and she loves me. But I just didn't want to sully her image of him. She seemed to be so content with him, so I decided to put me and Tom, differences to the side, just so that my mom could be happy. It's crazy how even as one of the youngest members of the household, I was tasked with being the most mature one. My mom, Janine, was out of town for a while, hence her absence from this scene. Had she been here, she would have blown a casket. I mean, that's why Tom felt so proud and domineering. He was the only parent in the house and could therefore impose whatever rules he saw fit. Joke's on him, because I know all about his conniving plans. Tom ended up following me out of the room, berating me and telling me how I'm an awful sister because I don't want to help Mike, which is not true. I do want to help Mike. Stop being such a leech. When they said that the apple didn't fall far from the tree, I think they were referring to Mike and Tom, because these two hooligans are insane. They're like Pinky and the Brain. You can determine who is who by listening to what happens next. Don't walk away from me when I'm talking to you. You will listen to what I'm saying and do what's right. Why would I do that, Tom? Please give me one good reason. Well, what's going on, you two? I'm trying to sleep. Your bickering woke me up. Mike, tell Sarah about what we discussed earlier. Sure. What did we discuss again? Oh, for the love of, the inheritance money. Ah, right. Well, Sarah, Dad and I were talking and we'd like to... Not like to. We demand this money, damn it. Oh, right, yes. We demand to have this money because of that very important thing we discussed? You mean the business? Business? What business? You said this money was for university tuition, Tom. Yeah, that's because that's what it's for, right, Mike? Yes, I completely forgot. I'm so sorry. Must have slipped my mind since I just woke up and everything. Yes, it's for university. I have an interest in attending university, obviously, and I want no demand the money for myself, please. Thank you. Oh, what a cute attempt. Unfortunately, it wasn't cute enough. The answer is no. Why not attend college first? Get your priorities in order and see what you might want to pursue. I guess I haven't thought about that. He can't do that, Sarah. Why not? Because he knows what he wants. Anyways, this wasn't even up for discussion. We're getting that money. We'll see about that. We spent the rest of the evening with some thick tension in the air. Even though Tom was notorious for his silly antics and attempts at testing my patience, this new attempt at irking me was out of the ordinary. Never had I encountered such an immature and selfish person. This situation was quite big, and I didn't want to tell my mom about it, at least not yet. I wanted to keep toying with them, especially after I found out this. Sarah, stop playing. You need to be a grown-up and do the right thing. Huh. And the right thing you're referring to is giving away my money? Are you all right, Tom? Just wait till I tell Mom about... Don't tell Janine anything. Why not? She's my mom. She deserves to know that this is how I'm being treated. You think that she cares? Listen, I'm just trying to do you a favor. If you bring this up to her, she'll just get upset at you for wasting her time as well as being so selfish. Well, Tom, that's a risk I'm willing to take. I'm warning you, don't tell your mother. His ferocious tone took me off guard. I'd never seen him get so riled up about something, especially something of this nature. Something was up, and it was up to me to investigate what was going on, especially the aforementioned business idea that Mike managed to slip out. They think I'm stupid and that I didn't catch on to their silly mistake, as well as Tom feeling so strongly about me talking to my mom about this situation. I talked to my mom as soon as possible. Hello. Hey, baby, how are you doing? I'm not very well, Mom. This house is weird. Something is up with Tom and Mike. Especially Tom. He's being weirder than usual. Oh, Sarah, don't be paranoid. I know you don't really like him, but he's not weird. Mom, he asked me for the inheritance money. What? Really? Actually, he demanded to get the money, both he and Mike. That's not true. He wouldn't do that. I know you love him, Mom, for whatever reason, but this is true. I want to believe you, but it's all just so surreal. Why would he do that? He said it's for Mike's education, but I think something fishy's going on. He was even quite aggressive when I told him that I would tell you what he said to me. I don't know, baby. I just feel like I need more proof. Don't worry, I'll get all the proof. Just wait and see. Even though my mom wasn't ready to completely and wholeheartedly believe me, I told you that man put a spell on her. I was still determined to get to the bottom of this particularly strange behavior. In the dead of night, I logged into the family computer and I found something shocking. Fortunately, for me at least, it appeared as though Tom had forgotten to log himself out of his emails. Big mistake, as I saw something that was very concerning. Tom appeared to have been sending emails to a certain lady named Denise. And let's just say that these emails weren't family friendly. From the looks of it, it looked like he was having an affair. I documented what I was finding, and as if my jaw wasn't already on the floor, the next piece of information I found certainly completely unhinged it. The emails detailed Tom talking to his mistress about divorcing my mother and scurrying off with her. He said he and Mike would get a large amount of money soon, and that would be used to upstart some business. But if I'm being honest, from what I read that day, it appeared to be some sort of shady business. Of course, Tom isn't stupid. He wouldn't expose potentially illegal information in his email chain like that, but he is stupid enough to have an affair and forget to log out. I knew that I had to gather as much information as possible, and I knew that with enough effort and determination, I could probably squeeze something out of Mike. The next day, I approached Mike, but not before hitting the record button on my phone. "Hey, Mike." "Hello, Sarah. You seem to be chipper today." "Why not be chipper? It's a beautiful day after all. I have some questions I wanted to ask you. See, I've been thinking a lot about what you said and Tom said, and I'm considering giving you the money." "Really? That's great. Dad will be so happy to hear this. Let me tell him." "Not so fast. Before I give you this money, because it is for you, right? For your college tuition." Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, my college tuition, yeah. Right. Anyways, I need to be sure that you're very serious about receiving this money." Yes, I am very serious. And Dad is serious. And Denise is serious." "Denise? Who is Denise?" "Oh, she's the student advisor for the college we're planning on sending Mike to." Both Mike and I were scared senseless. We didn't know that he had come into the room. "I don't appreciate you interrogating my son." "I was doing nothing of the sort. I was simply asking him how my money was going to be used." "Well, once you give someone money, it's no longer your money, so it's not your business." "Is there any way to speak to the person who is considering giving you money?" "You're not considering anything. You're giving me that money. If you don't give me that money, then I'm just going to have to kick you out." I was stunned. It seemed as though Mike was stunned too. "Dad, this wasn't part of the—" "Shut up, airhead. I'm the parent and therefore I get to make the rules. If you don't give me that inheritance money, then you can just get out." I opted not to say anything because little did Tom know I was still recording this conversation. I had caught him red-handed. I walked out of the room, sending Tom the evilest of evil eyes, and proceeded to lock myself in my room. I began compiling everything that I could against him. I felt like those detectives in those TV shows, collating all the data and putting it up on their conspiracy walls. I took the voice recording as well as the screenshots I took of the conversations between Tom and Denise, and braced myself for the storm that was about to let loose. After I was done with everything, I called my mom. "Hello, Mom." "Hey, love. How are you?" "Mom, are you sitting down?" "Why? What's wrong?" "I'm afraid that there's some harrowing news I need to share with you, and you're not gonna like it." I started spilling the beans. I told my mom everything that I found, and all the while she was denying it until I made her listen to the audio recording I took earlier, and at this point, her resolve began to crumble. "Why would he say those things to you? Why would he do that to me? Why would he be so cruel?" "Because he's an evil man, Mom. I'm sorry to break it to you, but you married a monster." "This is just awful, and I left you all alone with those two sickos?" "Absolutely not. I'm coming home right now. You stay where you are. Have you locked your door?" "Yes, ma'am." "I'm going to ruin that man and make sure he never shows his face to the public again. When I'm done with him, he's going to wish he never married me." "That's the spirit, Mom. Now hurry up and get home. We need to devise a plan." My mom arrived several hours later and immediately came to my room. We hugged and cried for what seemed like hours. I could tell that this news wasn't easy to hear, but I'm glad that she was in her angry stage of this revelation, as it prompted her to act, and act she did. We talked for hours, and at the end of the deliberation, we knew what we would do. Several days had gone by, and Tom didn't know why my mom came home so early from her work trip, as well as why she was giving him the cold shoulder. He appeared to be very happy, almost unreasonably so, to show my mom that he was sweet and innocent, but unfortunately for him, she now saw through his very well-orchestrated facade, and she was ready to kick him to the curb. My mom opted to hire a PI. After I showed her the shady messages about his alleged business, she too felt a strong sense that the money was not going to be used for anything legal. This especially infuriated her, as she simply couldn't fathom how a parental figure could be so cruel and conniving. That's when she wanted to take things into bigger hands. She knew that she and I alone could not handle what was about to ensue. And oh boy, did we found out a lot of incriminating evidence. The private investigator got back to my mom, and my mom relayed the information to me. So, wow, I'm even at a loss for words. Come on, don't leave me in suspense any longer. What did the PI guy find? Well, it turns out that he's planning on running a money laundering business out of the laundromat he wants to buy and establish as his business. It's the oldest trick in the book. Wow. That's not all. This Denise person he's been cheating on me with is also in trouble with the law for drug-related stuff. She's been arrested on several occasions for conspiracy to sell and distribute illicit substances. So it wouldn't be surprising if they weren't just doing money laundering in that business, but also drug-related stuff. That is crazy. I would have never expected that. I feel like a shield has been removed from my eyes. I can see now that the man that I married isn't a man at all, but a sick and twisted beast. When are we going to bust them, Mom? Right now. Follow my lead. Right now? Wait, let me get my camera. We proceeded to go to the living room where we found Mike and Tom rambling about their shady business. And then we'll have to use this as a caveat for our business. It's all going to be super well hidden. All you have to do is pretend like you don't know what's going on and just serve the customers accordingly. Okay, but what about... Oh, hey everyone, we're just finalizing the stuff for Mike's college application. Cut the crap, Tom. The jig is up. We know everything. What do you mean? Oh, that innocent act isn't going to work on her anymore. Smile for the camera. Get that out of my face, you spoiled brat. I mean Sarah. We know everything, Tom. Do you know how many years in jail you'd spend just for the conspiracy to commit the crimes you intend to do? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, well, perhaps we should call Denise and see what she has to say. Huh, you two think you know anything? Denise is just a friend. Well, the myriads of explicit photos say otherwise. Who even uses emails anymore to cheat? Honestly, that's so stupid. You two? You two went through my things? How dare you? No, Tom, how dare you? How dare you threaten my daughter on multiple occasions to give you money that doesn't belong to you? How dare you threaten to kick her out of my house? Are you sick in the head? How dare you endanger your son by putting him in your foolish shenanigans? And how dare you conspire to use this money for illegal activities? Yeah. Now, you got nothing to say, huh? We know everything and we're going to take you down. Yeah. I said get that camera out of my face. Tom attempted to lunge at me, but I was too quick for him. He was being quite aggressive, which was quite scary. And now you want to attack my daughter? It's like you want to rot in prison. You're crazy. Do you think you know anything? You know nothing. Yeah, well, tell it to the police, who should be here any second now. Police? Yes, the police. You thought that I wouldn't call the cops on you, especially with how you're behaving? At that moment, we heard police sirens pulling up to our neighborhood. Never in my life had I seen Tom look this way. He was always smirking as if he was 2 steps ahead of everyone. But today, once he heard those sirens, it was like all the blood drained from his face. He looked terrified. He finally said, "Please, Janine, you don't have to do this. I can explain everything." "Save it for the judge, you cockroach. You disgust me. And Mike, don't think you're off the hook for this. You two are both getting arrested. That should teach you a lesson about mistreating my daughter and me. I know you're a kid, but you're old enough to know better, and for that, you need to be punished." "Yes, Mom." "Come on, Janine, don't you think that all of this is a bit excessive?" "On the contrary, it's not excessive enough. How are we with the live stream, Sarah?" "We've got over 3,000 people in the live stream. This is going to be big." "Oh, and if this wasn't clear enough, I want a divorce." You heard it right, folks. Over 3,000 people witnessed the whole debacle. And surely enough, the news was hitting local newspapers and tabloids. It was crazy to be amidst the notoriety of my sick ex-stepfather and his son, but it was also sweet to witness his demise. He lost his job, his friends, and even some family members don't wish to speak with him. He's being charged with all of these conspiracies, which, if the judge sees fit, he can spend upwards of 20 years behind bars just for this. The police also managed to find Denise, who had gone in hiding when all of this was blowing up, and she too was charged with the aforementioned charges. Life was sweet on this side, though, as my mom and I grew closer due to this situation. On the weekends, we'd often chill on the patio, drinks in hand, while we laugh at how stupid and evil Tom was. Good riddance. Good riddance indeed.